Good day and welcome to Financial Ed 101. I'm your mortgage broker, of course, James Loewen from Loewen Group Mortgages. And today we're not going to be discussing the rate market or any movements or economics. We're actually going to be discussing money and love. Some experience in our office over the 10 years has taught me a few things that I'd love to share and impart upon yourselves in hopes that we can't bring together and bridge the gap that many people experience with both money and love. So let's get started and discuss the fact that fighting, of course, about finances is normal. We find that most every couple does this, and truthfully, Dr. Terry Obach found that 7 out of 10 couples report that money causes tension in their relationship. Now, we don't want that, so let's see if we can help get around that on this special day, of course, on Valentines. Is the argument truly about money is what we have to identify. Money can represent, of course, a control in a relationship or security between partnerships. It could be a self-esteem or a sense of truly having a partnership between each of you. Based on this, if you're cohabitating together and you are fighting, don't worry, this isn't the end all and you have to separate. This is an opportunity for you to improve your relationship and bring it maybe to new heights or new levels. All right. Chances are, if you're married or a partnership or a couple living together, there's two people involved in this and two separate types of person. The first might be call them the nerd, people that are good with working with numbers, people like myself, quite a big nerd. The other one that isn't really that good at working with numbers, we're not going to use a derogatory term, we're going to call them the free spirit. Okay, now that's not the problem having two different people like that. Where the problem occurs is when the nerd or the financial decision maker neglects the input of the free spirit. This drives a wedge for the free spirit to then not want to give any input, thus making it seem like they're not involved within that. In the other areas when that free spirit again just continues to avoid dealing with any type of financial responsibility or decision making, and further the gap and wedge just drives. So let's get that wedge back together, bring you guys back to your partnership, and let's discuss a few areas and a few tips and tricks and actions that you can do to actually help bridge that gap in your partnership and perhaps reduce the fighting over finances. The first key, of course, is to make love and not war, and here's the 3 easy steps. And the first one being key, openness and awareness and communication. This is a key in relationships, and it continues on into your financial department of your relationship as well. Having said that, the activity that I'd like you to do is to discuss your attitude around money. And that might sound rather odd, but I want you to discuss with each other how you think and feel about money. Is it for spending, that it will always be there, it's for fun, and who cares, we've got lots of money? Or is it to be revered and to hold on to it and to be saved and just scrimped for that future day, and who knows what might happen with that money? Identifying your attitudes towards money can really help work towards identifying which kind of characteristic and personality you might be, and bridging that gap to help understand each other's views and becoming a better partnership. When you're going to buy or purchase something, and part of the activity, if you want something right now, are you going to scrimp and save to be able to afford that? Or are you simply just going to put it on a credit or buy now, pay later, and we'll just worry about it when that time comes? That's a really good way of identifying what type of partnership and your identity, actual attitudes in this. The other part of that activity, as far as communication and openness, is to disclose to each other what you have owing and what you own. And it's really good to do this up front and discover and learn about each other, as opposed to sitting in my office and pulling up your credit bureaus and showing what each of you actually owns and owes and having that shock. So there's a great little activity. How do you feel about money? What do you own and what do you really owe? And that's a great starting ground. Our next part is to, if you are open in that regard, is to start sharing responsibility, all right? Instead of having the nerd and the free spirit or the money decision maker and the person not being involved and driving that wedge, let's get you guys actually back in together, all right? And see some bills put into both of your names. If you can, purchase the house in both your names, put utilities in both names, credit cards, anything you can do that way. It is really surprising that just seeing the actual bill coming in each month when both of your names on there is showing that you are truly sharing that as a partnership. It also helps should one of you be away. It allows you to be able to make changes on the account for each other, which is of course a smart endeavor to have as well. Next step, joint or not to be joint. Bank accounts here are the question. And over my years of this, not having any joint account is, and I'll be very frank in saying, it's ignorance and it's a lack of communication. It's a very good key right away. If you're not open in regards to what finances you have, well, let's get you that way. All right, so there's a couple steps and a couple options here for you. So let's take a look at the first one, maybe the easier one. Take the 5 minutes. You can do it even online with most banks to open up a joint account. I suggest that a percentage of your pay goes into this joint account together. Okay, so you can still operate your separate accounts and you're coming together as a union, open that joint account and put money into this, and this account will then be used to pay the bills, the mortgage, the taxes, the food, any of the kind of common or joint costs that you may have, and you can take turns as to who would pay each one, okay? You can even do this as a nice self-expansion activity together where you help develop and foster your relationship as your romantic evening of paying bills together. The remainder of your money would stay in your own separate accounts, so you can still have that feeling of your own identity and your own monies that way, all right? The next situation, and this one is the monthly allowance from a joint account. And this one I see most successful with partnerships that might also have children, very active lifestyles, and really want to integrate everything all together as one financial being. And this might be called, like as I say, the more full disclosure method. And what happens is that all money will go both into that same one account. So full disclosure in that both of you will see exactly how much income each is earning and going into that one account. From there, you will then determine how much you'll each be able to take out as your allowance, sort of like when you're a child. From there, that money can be spent however that partner sees fit. Do not judge them for that, lest they be judged. That is their money to do as they will. And again, revisit these things as we take a look into the future. If we're noticing or disclosing what we have that we're owing and we're owing right now, and we see in 3 months or 6 months that one partner has a lot more savings or the other partner has a lot more credit, then we need to adjust this. If your partner is wasting money on high interest credit cards, your whole partnership is losing money to the credit card companies. All right, let's look at it as a whole and get that money and interest into your own back pocket. Okay, so not only do this now, but revisit and do this into the future. Based on this, I need to point out the fact that a partnership is not 50-50. I'll say this again. It does not mean that each person has to split exactly what they earn down the middle, because that's most often not the case unless you happen to work both in the same company at the same pay grade at the same beginning. So adjust that based on exactly each other's needs and incomes and keep readjusting it into the future. All right, so you've done those activities. We've got 3 simple things. You're talking about your attitudes, you're being open about what you own and what you owe, and then from there, we're opening up a bank account together, and you've got a couple options as to which way might be working best for you. So let's take a look at last month. We had a contest winner and trivia questions. We're celebrating Shannon Toth. Congratulations for knowing the answers to the questions, and you'll be mailed your Tim Hortons gift certificate. Don't spend it all in one place. And we've got a contest for February with Gail from Till Debt Do Us Part. She's also a recent author of Money Rules. We'd like to see you as a couple improving your financial literacy. So we're going to give away 5 couples, so 10 tickets in total, to go see Gail at Mohawk College on February 19th. How do you enter into this? Just post up a picture of you and your partner, and this can be your husband, wife, friend, boyfriend, whomever. We don't discriminate. We love everybody. And just post them up with a caption of, "We love Loewen Group." That's all I'm looking for. We want to feel the love back and really want to see and celebrate you exploring and developing your financial literacy. And Gail is a very respected author and been helping couples do this for quite some time right now. Our Facebook page is just simply Loewen Group Mortgages, and I look forward to seeing all your pictures up on there. We'll select them at random, and you can just pick up your tickets at the roll call. So it's that easy. All right, so what do we have coming up for next time? Next, we'll have a guest blog from a renowned social psychologist and science of relationship writer, who also happens to be the love of my life, Dr. Amy Muse, and who's responsible for helping me identify that something like this might be useful, as we've learned from purchasing our first house and subsequent homes together, and all the trials and tribulations and successes that we've had to celebrate together. We'll be talking about the relevance of home buying and relationships, and what she's learned and research dictates and tells us that can hopefully help benefit yourself. As always, I'm yours in mortgages, and remember to make love, not war, in both your mortgage and finances. Take care, and ciao for now.